Welcome, fight fans, to Bareknuckle Uncensored. This is going to be episode 1. I am Chris Lobov, and I am the president and CEO of MMA Uncensored. My co-host is Lethwei champion, King Dave Leduc. Everybody knows him. Welcome.
How are you, Chris? Lobov is French, no?
Yeah, Lobov, the beautiful. Look at this, huh? Look at that. Beautiful.
Lobov. You know, this is like, do you speak French?
Very little. Not as much as you. I mean, you just moved from Canada. Didn't you just move to Turkey or something, right?
I moved to Turkey, but I'm born in Quebec, which, our first language is French. So
I know a little bit. My grandfather, his side of the family is from Montreal.
Okay, yeah, exactly. I'm 2 hours from there. Yeah, but man, it's too cold. I can't stand it anymore. So I'm in Europe. Turkey is. I want to be a hermit and just like disappear and do my podcast and do what I love, grow my vegetables, and fuck society, like fuck that shit. I want to be in a hot climate, and but man, what is Bareknuckle Uncensored, guys? You're gonna see it's uncensored because we swear, we talk about blood, we talk about fighting, bareknuckle fighting, vale tudo, street fighting. We're gonna talk about, if you guys can submit stuff, the street fighting stuff. We love that. There's headbutts in there too. There's bareknuckle there, and obviously Lethwei, which is my love, my first love. And we're gonna talk about this. Chris is running MMA Uncensored with his team, and they obviously post mostly MMA stuff, and bareknuckle fighting with BKFC. You guys probably heard of BKFC. It's the biggest bareknuckle boxing, bareknuckle fighting event right now, and they're doing great, man. They're doing great. So what's your relationship with them?
I work for David Feldman. He just has me do some work for him. Something we don't really discuss, but I help behind the scenes. I help them promote the product to different audiences.
It's amazing. It's because of all your posts and all this that I saw it, because I was really looking only about Lethwei, and I saw, oh shit, there's other events happening right now, and we're supposed to have also Artem Lobov today with us, right? We're going to talk about
Artem's on the show in about 20-30 minutes, and he's calling from Dublin, Ireland. He's training at a Straight Blast gym in Dublin. That's Conor McGregor's gym. We're going to ask some Conor McGregor questions, maybe. You don't want me to, but I'm going to do it anyway. Guess what? Bareknuckle Uncensored, but I got to get a little MMA in too. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Of course. And it's interesting. But yeah, he's training for his fight in Ukraine. He's bareknuckle fighting, so that's cool.
July 24th in the Ukraine. Yeah. He's fighting a pro boxer. Currently is a champion. So basically what's happening is it's like Canelo. It's not Canelo, but it's like a Canelo that's already the boxing champion in that weight division. He's taking off the gloves and he's going to go into the bareknuckle ring and fight veteran superstar, the GOAT, Artem Lobov, bareknuckle.
Great respect for guys. Great respect for boxers that, or even like Muay Thai fighters, everybody that goes and take off the gloves. I really respect that, because I always talk about, we're so used to having a wrist support with not only tape but the glove on top of it, and so for me it's and the knuckles are usually not conditioned. Like you can see, like my knuckles, my right one compared to my left one, the cartilage is not there, because we have a cushion on top of it. So massive respect. I'm really curious to ask him some question about how does he see fighting a boxer compared to like a bareknuckle boxer. But so quickly, I wanted to say, Chris, you've seen the fight. You see what happened in Poland. There's Lethwei fights happening in Poland.
I did. Let me grab my note quick.
Yeah. So for those who didn't see, May 8th, not too long ago, there was Artur Saladiak, and Artur is a Polish fighter. He's actually based in UK. I've met him actually in Myanmar. We're fighting on the same card. Great guy. Fought K1, fought Muay Thai, and then had a great success as well in
WLC champ at one time.
Exactly. He did a good fight, and then recently on the last event, he lost the title to Sasha Moisin, who's the Ukrainian, and now he's like on the journey to get it back. And the guy, man, honestly, props to Arthur. He's a tough guy. Like he can take damage and still go for it. And the last fight with Sasha, he was so fucking bloody and ended up in a decision at the end. So look. Yeah, you see, he won in Poland in May 8th, and on the same night, Michael Kosick from Slovakia. Also, I know Michael. I went to Slovakia to do a seminar, and he was there. I usually spar at the end of the seminar, and I remember him because sometimes I don't remember the guys I spar with, but I remember him because he was he was tough. He was tough. So he's actually 2-0 now in Lethwei, 2 knockouts. Wow. So the question is, Chris, like, is Arthur gonna? Because if he wins this, I can see like when WC kick starts again, he's getting a rematch, automatic rematch, title shot again. But is it gonna be Michael? Or is it gonna be Archer? Michael.
I'm going with the Slovakian, man. I'm going with Mikhail Kosick.
Michael Kosick, yeah.
Yeah, that's who I'm going with. My money's on him. My money's on him. How about you?
It's hard for me to say. I really agree that Michael is a tough son of a bitch. Like he's tough, really, really tough. Slovakian blood, Archer Polish blood. Has the Lexer experience? Let me check. I think he has.
Well, Poland too. Home cooking advantage, man.
True.
Archer's going to have the advantage in this one. He's going to be at home. More of his friends and family are going to be there. He's going to have his wife or girlfriend available. You're gonna have a good time.
It does play a role. You're right. He has 6 Lethwei fights now, while Michael's gonna be as his third. So it's gonna be I'm gonna say. You know what? I can't say it. I'm gonna have
we have time. We can talk about it on our next show because guess what? I didn't tell you this, and me, I'm the man behind the scenes. I'm the producer, the host, the co-host, all that stuff. I got one of your really good friends coming on next.
Who?
Robin Black.
Get out of here. Okay.
I talked to him today, and he said Friday, which is in a couple days. He's currently in Bulgaria. I believe that's what he said.
Hungary. No, it's true. He's in Hungary.
He's in Hungary.
Budapest.
Right. Yeah. Budapest. So he's kind of on your time zone because you're in Turkey right now.
Yeah. No, he's the same. Yeah, exactly. Robin, man, it's a cool story. I guess we'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I want to bring up a little poster here. I want to talk about what we're really here to talk about today. One of the big stories.
By the way, Robin went to Myanmar to comment.
A picture of you smashing the elbow.
Yeah, he was there. That Robin commented that fight. So yeah, exactly.
Here we go. Here's what we're here to talk about, King. We're talking about Bareknuckle Fighting Championship 18. That is June 26th. Excuse me.
Florida.
Joey Beltran versus Sam Shoemaker. Heavyweight title bout. You got Hector Lombard versus Joe Riggs. Hey, you're familiar with Joe Riggs, right?
Yeah. It was offered. It was supposed to fight him, but the fight changed at the end. So yeah, I think it would have been a good fight. He's a tough motherfucker.
Hell yeah, he is. Right, so we also got Luis Baboon Palomino. He's the 55-pound champ. He's from here in Miami. And we got him versus the UK guy, the Brit, Tyler. He used to be with KB.
Okay, Tyler, so they did a cross promotion there.
You're right. And then the last fight. This fight really intriguing to me. It's the 175-pound title. It is Thiago Pitbull Alves versus Uli Monster Diaz. Woo!
I like this matchup actually also because my last fight with the fight he just posted with Basinski. Basinski had a fight of the night with Thiago Santos, right? Sorry, Thiago Alves, and they brawled it out for all the fight and the entire rounds, and I think Thiago won by decision. But
the last bare knuckle fight was I believe versus Julian Lane, and I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, that went 5 rounds. It was a.
I'm talking about me. I fought Alves fought Basinski in the UFC.
Oh, you fought? Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, no, right. So basically, they did like a 3-round fucking blood, like it was a good war, and they got fight of the night for this.
In the UFC, right?
Yeah, in the UFC ring, yeah, exactly. And then, exactly. So I was like, So there was actually a lot of talk about me fighting Elvis, but I respect the guy. He's a tough motherfucker. I don't know who to.
You would fight Alves in Lethwei?
Of course, man. Of course,
yeah.
that would be good.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think it would be good. I would good headbutt. I could
how about
him.
headbutt? Definitely headbutts and KO only to win.
Oh yeah, exactly. Two shapes.
Here we are. We keep talking about Lethwei.
Yeah, but
let's go back to the bare knuckle card there, man. Let's talk about this bare knuckle card. So we're gonna have the heavyweights. The Mexicaner, Joey Beltran versus Sam Shoemaker. What do you think about that fight, bud?
Stuff. I would say. Well, first of all, that's the kind of fight I like because it's the big boys. That's what I like. There's obviously like there's technical aspect and all these things at lower weight, but with bare knuckle fighting you get the cut, you get the blood, so it's always more exciting in my book than anything else with gloves, in boxing and all these things. Shoemaker has a good chance. I don't know. What do you think?
I always go with Joey. I've known Joey for years.
Joey, I respect him as well.
Joey because Joey's my buddy, so I'm going with Joey. Definitely.
I think he's on a roll. He's on fire right now, and
got a new girlfriend, BKFC fighter Britain. So he's got a new girlfriend. They're on Instagram. They're doing all this fun stuff. I'm going with Joey. Joey's a happy fighter. He's going to be in Miami. He's going to be home, second home. I'm going with Joey.
Yeah,
let's talk about Hector Lombard. I was there for Hector Lombard versus David Mundell. Hector Lombard is going to be fighting Joe Riggs, former UFC fighter Joe Riggs. What do you think about that one? I mean, you have history with Joe and
two guys,
Hector.
Two guys that are gonna lay it out. I am not familiar with Hector apart from like what I saw in the UFC. Is it his first? How many bare knuckle fights he has?
I believe he has 3.
3 in BKFC.
3.
Okay. You see, me, Joe, I know he's been around there and he knows the bare knuckle game. I think he has more than Hector. But if he has 3, shit.
Either 2-0 or 3-0. I'd have to check. I don't have stats.
Talk about it.
I don't think this will be Joe Riggs. I don't know, man. This is a tough fight to call. I'm gonna go with Hector Lombard. I got Hector. Okay. I mean, we'll see what happens. I guess.
Bare knuckle record. Hector is 2-0 with one TKO. Last fight was against Kendall Grove,
which you got the TKO versus.
Yeah. So very tight. And I wanted to add about the Joey fight. Like, I think he's the champ right now, and he has that aura around him as a champ. So Showmaker, when I said he has a chance, is that first of all, he's not a pushover. He has, he's there. He's going to go there to fight. And I know as a champ, for me, it's like you go champ, and then it's harder to keep it because the challenger has nothing to lose. He has nothing to lose while you have everything to lose. You have your belt, you have your status, you have your income. So he has to work extra hard, and the guy are coming in fucking hungry. So I suppose I hope Joey's hungry, and from what I've seen, the promotion around him, they're doing some nice promo around him. Man, he's a tough guy. Like, again, that's what people don't understand. It doesn't matter what you did in MMA. It doesn't matter what you did in other sports. Bare knuckle fighting, bare knuckle, when you take off the glove, it's a different mentality. It's a different pain threshold. So Joey has proven success in those rule set.
Absolutely.
So I would have to bet money on, I would say that he's going to win. I think
I've seen him live a few times. I've seen him win the title off Chase Sherman. I've watched him ringside. He has a huge gas tank. In the third, fourth round, he just turns it on, and he uses that clinch game, and he gets the dirty boxing in. I'm gonna have to go with I call him my friend. Go with him. Beltran.
Okay, you're biased. That's good.
I got Hector Lombard. Let's talk about the other 2 fights a little bit more on the next show because we got time. We don't want to give them all our predictions now.
True.
Fights, you got
it's not a prediction fight either.
Yeah.
What'd
you say?
No, I said it's not. We're not just gonna because they're gonna make money off of predictions.
Yeah, we're not gonna keep making predictions. You're not gonna get. Yeah, that's true. They're not gonna get those. Anyway, so let's talk about
the third event.
A current event. How about we talk about what's going on in Miramar right now?
Yeah, man, it's very sad. All the it started as a protest and against the military coup, and now it's a full on civil war. Very very sad. And one of my friend as basically is in hospital. He got bombed, and he got a bomb exploded near him, and he's getting hospitalized. He's a Lethwei fighter actually, Pota. You can check it on BJ Penn. Basically, Tom Taylor. Wrote an article about him explaining everything, and basically, yeah, he's he fought in one championship. He's seven fights in one. He has a couple Lethwei fights, one in WLC. Hota is a great guy. He's an activist, really very present in the fight against the Myanmar military, and he got a bomb exploded near him. So now he's stuck under the military watch. So we can't even talk to him. Nothing. So it's a bit sad, but yeah. But basically
sad.
right now everything's halted in Myanmar for fights. The WLC is halted. Everything is not happening. They're trying to make an event in the Kachin state, where 90% of the fighters coming from. It's like let's say all the MMA fighters in America would come from Texas, for example. Like in Myanmar, there's a state called the Kachin state, where it's like a different language, different everything, and everybody. Most hardcore motherfuckers are coming from there. Like 90% of Lethwei fighters come from the Kachin state, and they're doing an event there. So that's the only thing happening in Lethwei right now in Myanmar. Everything happening in Lethwei is outside of Myanmar right now. Poland.
What's happening with Lethwei? Why don't you explain the difference between the WLC and this commission, or these old people, these old men that are slinging your name around about visas and all that bullshit? Tell
that was fake news. That was fucking fake news and bullshit. I'm gonna write a post about this. Basically, I don't get along with a promotion with a federation. Right? It's a bunch of old gentlemen that are doing nothing for the sport. They're just basically asking for money. Give me 10,000. Give me 20,000 just to do something. Basically, do you see me?
Yeah, I'm just okay.
Perfect. So basically, they didn't like me trash talking my next opponent and Buckow and all these things, and talking about the flaws in the history books and the flaws in the Muay Thai. And so the pussy guy in Thailand was such a baby that he wrote.
Pussy guy? What's the pussy guy's name?
I have to find his name. I don't even know the guy. Like
make up a name. Just make up a name.
He's I could find it to you. It's in my phone. But anyway, he's like a it's a weird name, and
just call him pussy guy.
The Thai guy, and he's great friends with the Muay Thai federations, and he wrote to the Myanmar Federation, and he said, we don't like Dave, what he's saying about us, and like I didn't say anything about them in person. I spoke about the history of Lethwei and Thai and Muay Thai, which is all facts and actually an absence of facts in their fucking stories. Anyway, so the Myanmar Federation, which I don't like, and they don't like me either, they make an official letter saying that Dave is now banned from their federation. Well, not only I don't give a fuck about being banned from their federation, I'm going to go ahead and say this: I'm never going to fight for them for their license sanctioned event for the rest of my life. That's how I don't care about them. So that's how they're powerless in my career. And I respect the WLF, the World Lethwei Federation, and they are the MTLF. So I'm only gonna anyway. So basically, people started. They read the letter wrong. It says Dave is gonna have visa problems in Thailand, and they thought visa problems in Myanmar. Well, newsflash. The immigration in Myanmar, they're my buddies. I take selfies with them every time I go. I have diplomatic status. Like, no, guys, I don't have any problem going into my adoptive country. They don't want me to fight for their federation, and I don't give a fuck about the federation. So, but yes, it's true. I will not. I'm banned from Thailand, and I will continue being even more banned, and I will never go back to Thailand for the rest of my life. That's for sure. So, yes, new resume. I'm fine. Obviously, my country, Myanmar, is fine, but I'm banned from Thailand.
Okay. So let's talk about the proposed Buakaw fight.
Yeah.
This is what I hear. I mean, I'm a MMA guy. I cover all martial arts, but and I do the news. I'm hearing that they offer you a fight, but they don't want to fight under your rules. So essentially, they want to stack the deck themselves. Can you tell the? Do you want to talk about this or what?
Yeah, it's fine.
Want to talk about it? You sure?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, he's basically they did not offer the fight. It's a promoter in Europe that started the ball rolling in 2019.
This subject gets you mad. I can see it in your face.
No, but it's annoying, you know, like not you, but the fucking the whole story. Now when we speak about stuff, then people start saying it's not true. Well, I can show you text. I can show you everything. I'm getting offered the fight in a hybrid rule set, not Muay Thai, not Lethwei, because he doesn't want to fight Lethwei. I don't want to fight with the Muay Thai. I'm gonna have to fight probably with the gloves because he doesn't want to fight bare knuckle. That's how confident and I'm gonna have to remove the headbutts. Probably has.
So we won't be able to cover it on this show. We can't cover this fight on this show because we only cover bare knuckle.
It's true. It's true. Fuck it. No, but it's deeper than that. It's basically this is the rivalry against Myanmar and Thailand, and the rivalry for like thousands of years. So it's deeper than the rule set. I don't give a fuck about the rule set. I just want to make sure that when we meet, I completely dominate him to show the Lethwei mentality, because Lethwei is not only a rule set, it's a mentality. Because when you don't when it's KO to win, Chris, you don't care about like, because in Muay Thai, for those who don't know, when you fight in Muay Thai, you have to your hands don't count for much. Okay, your elbows, your knees, and your kicks count for a lot. If you punch a guy and he's bleeding with your punches, but he's chopping your leg down, he's winning the exchange with the point. So there's a massive, intricate scoring system. In Lethwei, you don't have that scoring system in traditional Lethwei, and you just go for inflicting maximum damage with the headbutts, with the punches, with the elbows, and may the best man win. And I love that. And this makes it kind of creates different neural patterns in your brain, because you're not looking to, you know what? I'm going to punch. I'm not going to go for the thing that scores the maximum point. And that's what I want to emphasize. It. You're not looking for the points. You're looking for damage. Even in WLC, which has a decision at the end, they're scoring damage. They're scoring for blood. They're scoring for big takedowns. They're scoring for big elbows. It's all about inflicting damage. That's the emphasis of Lethwei, and that's why I fucking love it. Anyway, so we'll see what happens with this. What?
Yeah. That sounds good. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Just summarize, because Dave doesn't really want to. I'll talk. Dave doesn't want to talk about this anymore, so I'm going to summarize it. Dave will fight him under whatever rule set because he wants to inflict major pain and damage and show the world he's the fucking king.
You said it.
Close enough? All right. I want to talk about one other thing. We're going to talk about fighting, street fighting, bare knuckle, blood, people getting hurt real bad. You had one story you wanted to share, and it's a quick story about the prisons. Is that the prisons in Thailand?
Yeah, that was before going into Lethwei, and actually it's important.
Quick story.
Yeah, quick story.
Let these guys know what they're going to see the next episode and the one after that, because we're going to talk about some crazy wild shit, guys, and you're never going to hear any of this stuff. This guy's going to give it to you.
So next fight, we're going to talk about the next episode. We're going to have, I think, Robin Black. We're going to have
Robin Black.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about a lot of stories, but now I see that Artem is there, so let's bring him on. Let's talk about his next fight.
All right, everybody, welcome to Bareknuckle Uncensored, Episode 1. We have Lethwei champion Dave Leduc and Artem Rushhammer Lobov. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
How are you, Artem?
Very good, Dave. It's great to meet you. I've heard a lot about you in the recent kind of couple of weeks, especially when that whole Boakai, story emerged.
Yeah.
So it's nice to finally meet you.
So where are you at right now?
I am now in Dublin, Ireland.
Okay. How's the weather there? Is it's cold or it's hot?
Actually, today is not too bad, but like the weather has been so bad here. I've been living in Ireland for 20 years, and in 20 years, we've only had one good summer.
Imagine, yeah. But it's better than Russia, right? Or
well,
Sochi.
Russia is extremes, like winter is really cold, and then summer is really, really hot. But here in Ireland, it's always kind of more or less gray and rainy and wet and a bit cold. It's not like really cold, but it's still cold.
Yeah, amazing. And me and Chris, we basically wanted to to talk to you, man, about basically what you've done in the bare knuckle world since MMA, and it's really exciting, really cool. Because, man, first of all, for people, so you're born in Russia, right? And you moved at what time? What age did you move to Europe?
So I left Russia when I was 14, and I moved to Argentina first. I lived in Argentina for about 2 years with my parents, and then we moved to Ireland when I was 16.
So you speak Spanish too?
Yeah, I speak Spanish. Yeah.
Oh, so
5 languages.
That I always said to my wife. My wife also is Russian. She's from Moldova, right? So I'm
really?
learning Russian. Yeah, я говорю по-русски чуть-чуть. Я понял все. Я понял все. Я говорю чуть-чуть.
That's brilliant. Very good.
I always say, speaking many languages is a sign of intelligence. And what's funny is that fighters always get the image that they're not able to be well spoken and all these things. So good on you, man. Three jezika. It's очень умный. It's good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So basically, you so your childhood was in Russia, and then you moved to Ukraine.
Yeah, Argentina. I moved to Argentina, and then I moved to Ireland.
Yeah, and how was the life? And I know there's some brawls in the streets of Dublin. How was that in Ireland?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it was very nice here. People are very friendly here, very welcoming. It was honestly a great life. I felt at home here from the beginning. I was able to get a job straight away, even as a teenager. 16 years old, there was no issue. They just said, "Look, kid, you want a job? Come on in. You do your job. You work hard. There's your money. No problem. Always nothing but respect. And if you come with respect to the Irish people, they always show you the respect back. Very welcoming people, very proud people, a great nation. Honestly, I'm very, very proud to call Ireland my home right now.
Wow! And did you speak English prior to moving?
I learned in school, but school system is so bad. When you can't really speak, the language. You're learning for so many years, but then when you get to a place, you realize you don't know what the fuck you've been learning there, because you can't understand anyone and you can't really say much. But once you're in the country, you pick up a language a lot quicker. Like, for example, Spanish as well. I learned it in 2 years. I know people learning Spanish their whole life in school, and they can't really communicate properly. Within 2 years, I was pretty fluent. And the same happened with English.
You even got the little accent as well, the Irish accent a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Irish, there's so many different accents here, and I lived kind of all over Ireland, and the accents are crazy different. Like, it's a small place, only 4 or 5 million people, but the accents are completely different. Even if you take Dublin, there is sort of the city is split into two, North Dublin and South Dublin, and the accents are completely different. And then if you go down to Cork, which is the south of Ireland, there's a completely different accent. You go to West, like Tralee, Galway, different accent. North of Ireland, different accent again. It's crazy how many different accents here.
Have you fought in front of the Irish people?
Yes, I fought here a few times. Yeah, I fought in Dublin.
In what discipline?
MMA and K1.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. I spoke to Chris before. Basically the Bare Knuckle podcast is we want to see all different things. Lethwei, bare knuckle boxing. There's bare knuckle Muay Thai starting soon. And obviously
don't forget about Valley Tudo.
Valley Tudo. There's George. Masvidal wants to make a bare knuckle fighting league. So it's something exciting, and I think it deserves the recognition. You fought many sport, with the big gloves in K1, the small gloves in MMA, and without the glove. Tell them, people, what's the main difference?
Yeah, I mean, there's if we're just talking about glove, no glove, then obviously the difference is on impact. Even, for example, in my first bare knuckle fight, it got so bloody, and I didn't realize that when I was punching the guy, a lot of the times when the punch was hard, my fist would open up. Just because it was so sleepy, there was so much blood and sweat that I couldn't even keep my fist closed anymore. And my hands were very sore as well. And also I realized after that first fight how painful it is on your hands. People talk about the face and all, but that healed very quickly. But the hands, my God, the pain was crazy. I very quickly learned why they invented gloves,
it takes a long time. The pain, yeah, exactly. You got the glove. The
Exactly.
pace is a long time. And did you break anything on your first fight?
No, I couldn't believe it. I didn't break anything, but man, my hands were so sore for like months and months afterwards. And even whenever the weather was changing, like if there was rain coming or something, I could fucking feel it in my hands. And I couldn't believe it because I remember my granny always complained about that. And I was like, fucking hell, I'm in my 30s and I have this now. I couldn't believe it. That's the worst part about it, is the hands.
What about Dave? Can you relate?
Yeah, in Lethwei, basically we have the wraps. It's like just the gauze, and it's mostly for the look. You know, like the Street Fighter look, like Sagat. Honestly, I only put like a millimeter, so it just looks fucking cool. But yeah, you feel the bone to bone on the cheek when you land. And, but that's what I wanted to know. You know, like the cutting when you land is so much more efficient than with 4 ounce or anything. So for me, that's what I like the most. And
it makes it more exciting. Like for example, if you take, let's say, boxers, like people hate watching, let's say, 62 kilo boxers box because they've got gloves, they're punching each other, not much is happening, very little knockouts, you don't really see any damage. You're very technical, but people want excitement, they want blood. If you make the same guys take the gloves off, suddenly you've got a whole different game. Now even the smaller guys, there's knockouts, there's blood everywhere, there's cuts, there's excitement, and it just changes the game completely.
I agree. No, it's completely different. So tell us. So basically, for people at home, like Artem you had 3, right? Jason Knights twice and Paulie Mariani once. First of all, what was your? Oh, you were there. Chris was there, yeah. Huh? What was the first?
I was there with my brother.
What was the
there for every one of his fights, boy. Woo!
So the first fight against it was Jason. What was it?
Yeah, that was in Mississippi. His hometown.
Remember this, Artem?
Oh yes.
You and Dos Brock signed this, and we all
celebrated with that after the win over Paulie.
Conor McGregor gift.
Nice.
Oh yes.
Sorry, go ahead, guys. I was excited. Excited because I haven't seen my friend in so long.
Yeah, exactly. So you were there for both of them, Chris?
Yes.
Okay.
Amazing. And, the build up and then the aftermath, and it was just amazing.
What was the second one was where, Artem?
It was in Florida, Tampa, Florida.
What's the difference since you were in front of his hometown, the first one, and then the second one in Florida?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I love both. I really kind of fell in love with Mississippi. It's a great spot. I didn't really know what to expect when I was first going there. You hear all kinds of things, like racism and this and that. So none of that. So the nicest people, obviously they've been through a lot, with the Hurricane Katrina, that completely destroyed everything there. And I always find that whenever you come across people that have suffered a lot, they always seem to be really like genuine and nice people, like anywhere you go to. And this was no different here. I absolutely love Mississippi. I love going there. I love the people there. I love the food there, and can't wait to be back, to be honest with you.
Amazing.
You plan on maybe coming back to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship one day, Artem?
I mean, absolutely, yeah, definitely. Me and BKFC have a good relationship. Obviously, with the year that it's been now, it was hard for me to get across. The shows were smaller, and also like getting visa and all this was a nightmare. So we'll see what happens. And I have a big fight in Bare Knuckle coming up now, but down the line, I mean, sure, why not?
Absolutely. You hear that, Mr. David Feldman?
Yeah, exactly. That was my other question. Artem, that was my other question. So you have another fight coming up, but it's not with BKFC. I was wondering if there was some kind of potentially stuff with the promotion, or it's just a matter of opportunities.
No, it's just a matter of opportunity. I'm going to be fighting for Mahaj. And very, very good guys as well, great promotion, or only kind of starting up, and I'm helping them a lot, advising them a lot in how to do things, how to promote properly, what Bare Knuckle is, the rules and all that. And to be honest with you, now Bare Knuckle is at a stature, it's at an infant state. It's a baby. There's no time to compete just yet. There's nothing to compete for yet. We need to build the sport together. Now it's about building the sport, making it as big as possible. And then down the line, we can compete, and there's going to be enough for everybody to earn. But for now, it's about, building it. And this is what I'm doing now. This is my next fight. I'm fighting a very, very highly decorated boxer. You know, he's an Olympic silver medalist. He's a 15-0 as a pro, WBO champion. You know, undefeated as a pro. And there, in
Nice.
modern bare knuckle history, there hasn't been anybody of his caliber competing, you know, in bare knuckle. You know, obviously I fought Paulie Malignaggi, who was a two-time boxing world champion, but he was already a retired guy coming back in. Here we have an active young fighter who is, has achieved a lot already and has an opportunity now to earn a lot more in bare knuckle than he did in boxing. And so he's coming over, you know, he's crossing over, and this is going to be a big fight. And I feel with the win after this fight, I'll probably first would like to challenge for the 135 belt in BKFC, because this fight is going to be my lowest weight ever, 64 kilos, and I'm finding it pretty easy to make the weight for now. So I don't see why I shouldn't do that. You know, start 135, then build back up, get the 145, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe 155. Dream big, right?
That is good. That is big dream. So just to clarify, fans, Artem wants to fight at 135 in bare knuckle fighting championship, and the current champion is Dat Nguyen. He just beat Brutal Johnny Bedford. Wow.
Yes. That would be a big fight
there.
That would be. It's sad, guys. Artem said it. Okay, how do you see your? So this first fight that in Ukraine right now. How do you see? Has the opponent ever fought bare knuckle before?
No, I mean, at the press conference, he mentioned a lot of street fights and this and that. But as you know, street fight is very different. You know, street fight is not a professional fight. You know, on the street, who are you fighting on the street? Some fucking drunk guys, you know, that can't fight. You know what I mean? I can fight 20 of them on the same day. You know what I mean? And not even break a sweat. That's a whole different story coming into a bare knuckle professional fight. Again, it's a professional bare knuckle fighter that's been there and done that and knows what's up. You know, that's a whole other game.
I'm curious to see how his hands are going to be, but definitely, like you said, the decoration is huge. The skill, the head movement, the footwork. He's gonna go, all out, and he's gonna go. But he's, obviously it's not the same. He's not just
not the same, exactly. And the clinch as well. Clinch changes so much. I always try to tell this to boxers that, look, you guys in boxing, you don't know what the clinch is. You're absolute beginners, amateurs in the clinch. They always take it the wrong way. They get it really offended. I'm like, no, guys, I don't mean no offense, but this is just the reality of the situation. As a boxer, you have no clue of the clinch. And I always tell them, look, you're a boxer, walk into a Muay Thai gym and just work a little bit of clinch with the guys. Just say, hey, guys, can I just mix in with you and see what it's like? And I guarantee you, within a minute, your arms go dead, they fill up with blood, your neck, everything, you know what I mean? Or go work with wrestlers, have a feel for it, have a try for it, and then you will know what I mean. Then you will know that I don't mean it as a disrespect. I'm just stating fact.
So can you tell people, what's the rule, the rules in the clinching game? Like, you can have one arm, two arms for bare knuckle boxing.
You're not allowed. You don't not allowed the full Muay Thai clinch, but you can do one arm.
As long as you want.
As long as you want, as long as you're punching, as long as you're active, you can stay there as long as you want. And this is what happens a lot of the times when I'm watching these fights. When somebody grabs the back of the neck of a boxer, he can't fight his way out. He doesn't know how to clear the hand. He doesn't know to, fight with his way back in. Just no clue. Just there, and panicking and waving, and that's it. It's game over then. So that's what I said to my opponent, and he seems to have hired a Muay Thai coach to work with him. But let's be honest, you're not going to learn clinch in a couple of months. Yeah, you'll know some this and that, but clinch could be a sport in its own right. There's just so much stuff to know about clinch. You know what I mean? Even I'm a beginner compared to a Muay Thai guy in the clinch, but versus a boxer, I'm an expert. So I feel pretty comfortable going into this fight.
Is it just going to be the same rules for a match?
Yes, the same rules. Yeah, I'm not even going to lie. We copied the rule set from BKFC, and even said it to the guys because they were going to change some things. I was like, no, those guys were the first. They set a standard, and we have to follow the standard in order to grow the sport. Because if we all do different shit, if one promotion does this, another different, that's not going to grow. That's just going to, grow in two different ways. They pull right, and we pull left. That's no good. So I said, look, we're going to, take what they've done. They've done a lot of things right, and we just copy it from them.
And I see your shirt. It has some wrap. Is it going to be like half of the hand wrapped?
Yeah, so the knuckles, so it's usually it's 2 inches from the knuckles, so the knuckles stay open. You know, you just kind of wrap here. To be honest, that wrap does nothing anyway. So
Exactly. But for wrist support, I wanted to talk about this with you. Like the wrist support of the without gloves is insane, right? And a lot of guys on impact they collapse their wrists, and it's not the same. It's not as easy to get a solid blow, right?
absolutely.
Probably felt it when in your first bare-knuckle fight.
You know, I think I have a bit of a kind of advantage over a lot of the guys in this sense because I have never wrapped my hands. Never.
Okay.
Whenever I hit pads, whenever I spar, whenever I fought, I even had fucking fights with the commission backstage because in America they force you to wrap your hands. And I'd be like, no, I don't want no fucking wraps. Get it off me. And they would make me just do one, like literally just one layer. And I'm trying to say to them, guys, what's the point of this? This does nothing. Can't even wipe my arse with this thing. So, you know, what's the point having it here? But they would always make me do it. And I say, right, okay, well, that's the fucking rule. Let's do it then. But, you know, I never like wraps. So as a result, my wrists have gotten quite strong, you know, over the years. Because when you do it, no wraps, so many years, they've gotten stronger. So in that sense, I think I have a bit of an advantage over other boxers. But I certainly, you know, when it's bare knuckle, you know, it would definitely help if you had a nice support on your wrist, especially when you go into the later rounds, when fatigue sets in a little bit and you're a bit tired. You know, it's you know, you punch somebody and they just pop and bends on you.
But you have big hands there, man. I see you have like actual hammers. That's pretty fucking good, man.
Actually, the reason I stopped rubbing my hands when I first started, like anybody, you know, my coach said, okay, you need to rub your hands, this and that. And I broke my hands every now and again, you know, I would be breaking them. So I was like, why the fuck am I wearing these wraps? They do nothing anyway. I'm still breaking my hand and there's a wrap. So fuck these wraps then. Just throw them out and I won't wear them anymore. And since I stopped wearing wraps, never broke my hand again.
It's amazing. A lot of guys that fight, and Chris, you might agree, like a lot of guys that fight K1 or Muay Thai, and they go into bare knuckle fighting, either Lethwei or anything, they get surprised by how dependent we are on gloves. We're so fucking dependent. Like you said, sparring when I was in Asia, put gloves on. Not in Myanmar. Put wraps on. I was not wearing wraps as well, so I relate to you, man. I just put the gloves on because usually I was late. I was just late at the class, so no time for wraps, you know. But I think it makes a difference over time for sure. But we're not saying, guys watching at home, we're not saying to be stupid and just like get injuries, you know. Like listen to your body, but you need to strengthen your hands over time for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I wanted to ask you. So for the Ukraine fight, like, do you have any idea of like the venue, the card, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, so I don't, I'm not exactly familiar with the venue yet. I can't really remember. I know it's a big arena there that, you know, where ice hockey is normally played. I just can't remember the name of it, you know.
I've been to Odessa. I've been to Odessa. I love Ukraine. It's amazing.
Yeah, because you see with this as well, with the arena, because of the bare knuckle, the way, like, as for example, this octagon or whatever they call it, like the ring in this organization, it's made with these sandbags, you know, to allow for the clinch, you know, because you should be able to lean against it. So as a result, you can't see through them. So it has to be where the seats are going up and the fighting down. Exactly. Because a lot of the times, you know, when there's like boxing, the ring is raised and then people on the floor look through the ropes. But you couldn't do that in this promotion. So it has to be kind of the Coliseum, exactly, you know, a feel to it.
Which is fucking sick. Which is gonna be
great. I love it. I honestly love it. To me, it feels like a proper fight, you know.
Chris, when you saw Artem's fight, either one of them, like I know it was fucking the blood was amazing. Which did you how did it feel to be ringside and to see all this in action live when you saw Artem?
It was amazing. You had the chills. He sat 5 feet away. David Feldman and the Bareknuckle Fighting Championship guys let me sit ringside. So I sit next to the ring announcers, the judges, everybody, and you see the blood comes at you. When I watch Artem, it was hard for me to watch because I'm his friend. And one of the fights, he was bleeding here, and David was like, no, stop the fight. And Artem's like, no, I'm going back in. He goes back in and kicks more ass. I mean, but it's amazing. I remember seeing Artem, the blood just dripping down, and it was a puddle. And I think that was this one. I think this was this one, Artem. You got a cut here, here, and here, and I think they had to stop it because of the amount of blood and the
to be
nerve.
honest, this was what happened was, you know, the knuckle went right into my eyeball.
Yeah.
Like right into the eyeball, and I felt like my eye was gonna fucking burst. So then I couldn't see anything. And when you close one eye, you can't judge distance. So that's what I found hard. And you know, I would be like thinking, okay, he's here. I swing. Oh fuck, he's nowhere near. You know, he's not there at all. So that's what I found hard. You know, the depth was gone. I couldn't judge how far or close he was. That was the hardest part about
it. When he fought Paulie Malignaggi, that was in Tampa. That was awesome. Before they were fighting him, his team, Dublin versus the New Jersey or whatever guys, and then after they were fighting because of the decision, they even wanted to fight me because I called it the way I saw it. I had you winning 3 or 4 rounds, 4 rounds to 1. But a long story short, Bareknuckle event is amazing. I haven't been in over a year because of COVID, but I'm going next month. I talked to Mr. Feldman, and I'll be sitting ringside again, and I'll have some access to some of the fighters, and I look forward to it. It's going to be a huge event. It's in Miami. It's June 26th, and what do you think of the main event, Artem? Luke Palomino versus Tyler Goodjohn, BKB former champion versus BKFC champion. How you feel about that one?
Yeah, I mean, Luis is an absolute beast. You know what I mean? He's made for bare knuckle. Let's be honest. You know, when you look at his fights, that's exactly, you know, the kind of guy you want to see there. The other guy, the English guy, I don't know. I'm not impressed at all, man. He never done anything in boxing, never fucking achieved anything in boxing, then moved into, you know, bare knuckle. He was talking a big game. Then he came over and I watched his fight against, you know, Charles Bennett. And you know, he lost that fight. You know what I mean? He got fucked up in that fight.
Yeah. That was a weird fight. Tyler, I talked to him. He said he had some issues with nutrition and he was in Vegas for a while, no coaching. And he said he had COVID, so he said that's the reason. I talked to him recently, had him on the MMA Uncensored podcast, and he's bulked up. He's up to like 165 now. I'm not sure what that is.
Well, I tell you what, if he shows up the way he showed up against Charles, he is getting fucked up in seconds. I'm telling you. I hope that what he's saying is true, you know, that he did have all those issues and he can, you know, solve it, you know, and show a better performance. But from what I've seen, I'm not impressed. You know, the guys that he fought before in the UK, I don't really know these guys, so it's kind of hard to, you know, judge his level. But you know, I know Charles Bennett, and I watched his fight there, and there was nothing to fucking write home about. You know, there was nothing to be impressed with. That's just a fair statement, I think.
You and I have both seen Charles Bennett fight in Pride. We've seen him fight in I believe not one championship.
Look, he's a legend. There's no question about it. He's a legend of the sport.
He's a legend.
He's not the same guy that he was before. You know, he will tell you that himself. He doesn't really train anymore. You know, he's all about just enjoying life and, you know, having fun. You know, smoking a bit of weed and having a good time. Exactly, and that's it, you know. So
I remember
you can't put away a guy like that. I mean, look, Johnny Bedford, 135er, put him away. You know what I mean? Put him away in like 1 or 2 rounds. Was it 1 round, 2 rounds? I can't remember.
It was 2 rounds, and I think it was something with his hand. He said, but he put him on TKO.
Johnny put it on him, and that was it. This guy is, you know, 155er and couldn't do anything with him. You know, so.
That's a good point. John Bedford was a 135er and he put him out. That's true.
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
So let's stick with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 18. That's going to be June 26th in Miami. Oh, go ahead, King.
I wanted to ask something because you spoke about the Paulie fight. I wanted to know because that was like I said, you fought the first like a real boxer from boxing, and how did you feel compared, for example, Jason, which was more like a fighter, not a boxer? How did you see the difference from this? Like, what was your impression on fighting a boxer, which you're gonna fight next?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, didn't see anything out of the ordinary. You know, I felt absolutely good there, and the referee that was inside there, he kind of messed up my game plan. My whole game plan was, you know, just clinch him, grab him by the back of his neck, and finish him there and then. But he wouldn't let me clinch. I mean, I have to say that for the referee. It was the first time refereeing a bare knuckle fight. He wasn't really aware how to do it, wasn't experienced yet, so I don't hold it against him. But this is a fact. You just break us up.
Why did they put this guy against? Like, who put this referee there? It's supposed to be somebody experienced. It's the biggest fight. The fuck is that?
I know, but I guess the sport is very young, and it's very beginning, and there wasn't really yet an experienced referee for bare knuckle, So I mean, I let it go, but then I just continued boxing him, and I felt good, I didn't feel. And to be honest with you, I spar very high level boxers all the time. In Ireland, we have very very high level boxers, Olympic medalists, world champions, you name it. Anywhere you look, there's boxers everywhere. So I knew that I would feel good boxing him. And of course,
what was the blow that changed the game for you? Think the blow that did the most damage? Do you remember?
I can't remember, but like I kind of cut him up, around the eyebrows, and I landed a couple of good left hands as well. There was some good shots, a couple of body shots. No, it was like a boxing fight essentially, but just bare knuckle.
It's funny, Chris. Me and Artem, we never met before. We already, we speak. It's funny how like most fighters we're kind of kind-hearted, but we love to fucking fight. It's kind of something that boggles me. Like, why the fuck do we like it so much? You're such a great guy, Artem, and it's a pleasure to talk to you, man. I wanted to ask you, two things. What's your vision for bare knuckle boxing in the next, let's say, 10 years? Because it looks like you're going to go down that route, like really.
Yeah.
What's your?
I see a big future for the sport. I honestly see a big future for the sport, and I hope that they keep the rounds the way it is. I hope they don't start adding more rounds, because it takes away. People think that if you add more rounds, you're gonna see more action, but that's not the case. When you add more rounds, people are more tentative. They don't want to just go all out. Right now, it's perfect. 2-minute rounds, only 5 of them. It replicates a street fight. On a street, you never see guys fighting for fucking 36 minutes. It's usually you come in, you don't like something, boom, 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 a bit of clinch, a few punches, and that's it. One wins, one loses. Go home, and that's it. And that's what this replicates. Bare knuckle. It's a street fight. So I see big future for this. Fights are always exciting. Even small guys have really exciting fights. So I honestly see a huge future for the bare knuckle.
There's an event we're supposed to have the promoter next week. An event in Dubai happening. It's going to be like bare knuckle Muay Thai. So it's basically the hands with the whole body. But that brings me up to a step over that, Lethwei with the headbutts, right? Would that be something
sorry, just let me ask you one thing. Is that the only difference, the headbutts from bare knuckle Muay Thai?
Well, there would be that and the throws. You can do suplex in Lethwei. You can do all the throws in Lethwei. Yeah, you can do suplex on the head. I think you would love it. But in Lethwei, they don't give a fuck. In Myanmar, in Burma, man, like if you, let's say, grab the head, you can actually do like a 12 to 6 elbow on the back of the head and the spine. They really, you can body lock on the way down. You can headbutt the shin, so you can, as long as you strike on the way down, the fight stops on the way down. But I see a lot of guys like dropping a knee on the head on the way down, or dropping a headbutt on the body lock. Suplex is something that's like always fun to see. That's not my style. I like to do elbows and other things, but some guys. But yeah, so if you look at like, it's more like in Muay Thai, you have more you attack me, I attack you. It's back and forth, more in front of each other. Like this in Lethwei, it's a bit more of a brawl, and you can do a lot of throws, which is. It's more permissive. It's more permissive. But yes, obviously in the clinch, instead of grabbing the 2 biceps, right, or you have the strike in the middle. So which change, after a big hook, let's say, then you do the side headbutt, all these things. So that was my next question. Would that be something that one day would interest you?
Yeah, man, I would do a fight, definitely. I would definitely do a fight. I'm now, since I've become a father, obviously, for me, payment is a big thing for me. I can't just do things for fun. I used to do it all the time, and like every matchmaker in Europe knew me. Whenever they had a tough guy, nobody wants to fight, 2 days notice, they called me straight away. I went everywhere from like 100 euros to 200 euros. I didn't give a fuck. Just show up and fight. I can't. I don't have that freedom anymore, because I have a baby and I have to provide for the family, so of course I would need to get some kind of payment, but man, I definitely fucking would do it. I would 100%.
For sure. No, you need to get paid for that. Like that's for sure. And
think about the tickets he would sell. Think about the venue. Think about the
Artem. And where do those fights take place? Where do those fights take place?
Well, actually, I'm organizing. I want to start. That's kind of a scoop. I want to start in USA. The only state right now that legalizes Lethwei is Wyoming. I fought there in November last year, and so we're looking to start.
Can you tell us what happened in that fight to Cyrus Washington? Just tell the fans.
Respect to him, and fucking warrior, and but I got the best of him with the headbutts and the clinch and all these things. So, yeah.
Did you send him to the hospital?
Yeah, it was, but again, it was a kind of a grudge match because we fought before in Burma, and in Lethwei, Artem, like if you don't knock out the guy at the end of the 5 rounds, it's 5 rounds of 3 minutes. If you don't knock him out in traditional Lethwei, it's a draw. So even if the guy's busted up, and a lot of times people look at my fights, I have a few draws, but I'm untouched, and the guy's cut. Yeah. In any other sports in the world, it would be a 10-8, it would, unanimous decision. But in traditional Lethwei, it's a draw. So I fucked him up. We got the draw, but then I wanted to finish a clear finish. So we did it. But yeah, so
KO to win.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you as well, Dave. Because I've seen that there was some issue with you and the country where Lethwei is practiced. I forgot the name of the country.
Myanmar. Myanmar.
Has this all been sorted? Because man, I couldn't believe it when I saw that. I was like, you're the only guy promoting it. You're the only guy actually putting their sport on the map. I've never even heard of it until I saw you and I heard you talk about it. You're like promoting the national sport. They should be like prize. You know what I mean? Like,
but they are. Yeah, thank you, Artem. Thank you. It means a lot. But the thing is, like Myanmar's 55 million people. It's fucking crazy, and their religion there is almost like there's many religions, but Lethwei is their national sport. There's a few like different federation, and I never got along with one federation. It's like WBO, WBC, whatever. Like, and I spoke my mind on Muay Thai, saying that it's just. It's true, you have a limb less, so without you remove your headbutt, well, it's less effective anyway. So they didn't like it. So I'm actually gonna make a statement tonight about this. It's funny that you asked me, bro. Basically, the fucking Thai guy who's he runs a gym, I think Pichendi or something in Thailand. He wrote like a little baby. He wrote to Thailand. Sorry, he wrote to the federation member, an old man that I never got along with, in Myanmar, and he's like, oh, look what your fighter did. He's basically tarnishing the relation of Thailand and Myanmar, which is not true. It's just sport talk, right? And they made a fucking paper, that's probably where you saw, saying that you're banning him. I'll go a step further, and that's what I'm going to write right now. Not only I don't give a fuck about their ban of their little promotion, their little federation, because I fight for another federation, the WLF, the World Lethwei Federation. Not only I don't give a fuck about their 2-year ban, I'm never going to fight for them in the rest of my life. So the thing I think it was the problem is that people saw ban or visa stuff. It was visa for Thailand. I'm never going to go back to Thailand for the rest of my life. So that's the fact. But I have diplomatic status in Myanmar. So I'm obviously my Myanmar status is never going to be affected with this. So just to be clear, like no issues with the country, but with like a few old men in a office that don't like me because I speak my mind. Well, they don't understand that we need to market this, and the more we market the sport, like you said before me, nobody knew what Lethwei was. Now more people know, more people come to Myanmar and they train the sport. They go to the hotels, they eat. It's good for the economy.
Absolutely. I even thought about it. I always thought about going to Thailand, but now when I heard all this story, I'm like, oh, what's this place? I'd like to see what's up. And this seems like a cooler sport as well. You know what I mean? So I really want to go and see what it's like.
So I'll make a promise to you, Artem. So right now there's a big civil issue right now. The government has the military coup. So it's a civil war right now. It's really bad, and I actively raising awareness and helping my people there. But once, and it will be okay one day. Once it's okay, I will personally be your guide in Myanmar.
Perfect deal. Sounds like a good fucking guide to me.
Yeah,
right.
I'm coming too. I'm coming.
Yes, you have to. That's like, of course. And we're gonna eat the food there. We're gonna visit the pagodas, to see the real Lethwei fights in the fucking Raw Stadium. You know, you're gonna like it. It's Elysium, by the way. So
brilliant.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up one thing. What's going on with you and Yuka? What's the deal there? Dave and Muay Thai.
Well, we can talk about it off air after that, because the guy basically
you said talk about it off air. What the hell do we have a show for, Dave?
Good point. No, but I basically
like something, man. Give him something.
There's a lot of guys that are afraid of fighting with taking the gloves off, and that's why I have a lot of respect for Artem. You know, a lot of guys, even friends of mine that fight in UFC, they're like, man, or even glory champions, glory fight. If they even say, if I would take the gloves off, I would break my hands, or it would be different. So it takes. I respect every discipline, but it takes a different edge in your brain to be willing to compete in this, and a lot of them are not willing to sign on the dotted line. And and I basically, what happened, Chris, is I got offered a fight against this Thai champion, and they're asking. We'll see what's happening, but they basically don't want headbutts, don't want what they want.
They want their own rules to favor them.
Of course, and for me, that's already a win. If you don't want to fight in Lethwei, well, you already assuming that it's too dangerous for you, and you want to fight in a middle ground, hybrid rule set. So, so basically, what I'm saying is, I'm just calling out on I'm just calling them out on reality stuff, because it's a big rivalry, Artem. 2,000 years of history between Thailand and Myanmar, and because the reason why we don't know Myanmar as much as Thailand is because for 100 years, or ish 60 years. It was a military coup in Myanmar. It was in the shadow completely. Nobody knew about it. It was like closed. You cannot even enter the country. That's why I had to go to Thailand initially to raise my name, right, and then get an offer a fight in Myanmar. But man, when Myanmar was closed up, what happened to Thailand?
We'll talk about that Thailand story one day.
You got tourism, they got tourism. They got they exported their sport. I'm not here to say anything bad of the sport. I love Muay Thai. They're all great sports, but they benefited from a closed down country, because I can guarantee you that if it wasn't for the military coup back then, I'm pretty sure in Dublin and everywhere around the world there would be a lot of Lethwei gyms as well. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. And but anyway,
to be continued.
It's about Artem today, Chris. It's not about this. It's not about this.
Chris,
Artem,
you actually asked me.
Chris? You have any questions?
Chris, you asked me if I was weight cutting.
Oh,
so yes. I was gonna tell you. Actually, I look like this because I just done a Bikram Yoga. You know what Bikram Yoga is? It's a hot yoga. I've only recently started doing it all the time, and it's basically 90 minutes of yoga in a very hot room, like a sauna, and you sweat like a motherfucker. You lose like 4 kilos of water. So then after it, you look like you've been weight cutting. So that's what it is.
Help you. You do the cold after?
Yeah, I jump into like a cold, water straight after, but like it's very good because especially for me, I'm very kind of like strong guy, but very, like everything is tight and, like too much oomph. So I need a little bit of elasticity to my body. That's a huge benefit for me. It helps with my back.
You do the yoga in the sauna?
Yeah.
Oh,
yoga
wow.
is in the sauna, yeah. So you sweat like a motherfucker.
Did you see the Bikram documentary?
Yeah, I know. I heard about the documentary. I know the guy, he stole it or something, and he really, but he stole the right things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He stole stuff that actually works. He might be a bad guy. I have no clue of him, and I didn't actually watch the documentary, but I've heard of it. I don't know about that, but the fucking stuff works. It's a very, very great workout. It's good for your muscles, good for the bones, good for joints, everything. It's incredible.
How long is your session?
90 minutes.
Oh,
19?
So you're 90 minutes in the sauna, sweating your balls off.
How long? How much did you lose? Water?
Yeah, sometimes you lose up to 4 kilos.
Wow. Fuck me.
That's
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that sounds good. Get on that.
I might want to try it, but that looks good.
Yeah, man. It's you know, when I first came into it, I saw a lot of like grannies and I mean, doing it, and I was like, ah, this is gonna be fucking easy. I'm not gonna do this. And then 15, 20 minutes into it, I was like, what the fuck is this? It's so hot, like what I mean, and especially for somebody that's like tight, you have to do a lot of work to stretch. Man, sweat was pumping out of me. I wanted to get out of there. I couldn't believe how hard this fucking thing was.
Shit. Bikram
You
Yoga.
look great, man. You look great. You look lean. You look healthy. You look like you're ready to run 10 miles, man.
Yeah, I sure am. I want to set a high pace, and I want the fight to fucking blow up everywhere. I'm coming in all guns blazing, you know what I mean? There'll be none of this fucking filling out process, none of this bullshit. I see the guy, that's it. I want to get to him and I want to fucking smash him. The way I approach my fights, I always say to guys, imagine you're in a night out and this guy just insulted your girlfriend. You're not gonna fucking hold him down. You're not gonna run around. You're coming in to smash his face. That's how I approach my fights. He insulted my girlfriend, and I'm coming in to fuck you up.
I love that mentality. I love it.
That's awesome. You're
right. You don't cut weight in the bar. You don't fucking check the reach in the bar. It's right now, right there.
Exactly. You've got no time to put gloves on. Just let's go, motherfucker. You want some? Let's go then.
That's
absolutely. That's
July. Is it July 26th?
July 24th.
July 24th, and that's from the Ukraine. It's going to be on pay-per-view.
Kyiv, Ukraine. It's going to be actually on Fite TV.
Fite TV. Okay, good. Yeah. Guys, go check it out on Fite TV. You could also check it out on my MMA Uncensored Instagram. We have all that stuff on there.
Can we get a prediction, Artem?
Well, it all will depends how long he can survive. You know what I mean? He seems like a tough guy as well. He is no pussy, he is a tough guy, you know what I mean? Like I said, I chipped a lot, but we will see. Everybody's tough guy until it gets down to the bare knuckle, Once the bare knuckle starts fucking slicing up your face, things change quickly. So we'll see how long he lasts.
Well, we wish you all the best and good luck for your fight, man. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
I have one or two more questions before we leave here.
Yes.
The first question, of course, is to Artem. Where are you training now, and who is your coaches?
Yeah, so I'm training still, as always, SBG, all the same coaches. Yeah, David John. Absolutely. It's been a bit fucking hard with all this lockdown because in Ireland, we have the strictest lockdown in the whole world. Like, literally, no one has it as bad as we. We've had it for a year. Can't fucking go anywhere. Everything closed, everything, shut down. But
gym is open. Gym is okay.
Yeah, gym is okay for professional athletes, is okay, but most gyms are closed other than that, so it's been hard. And for some periods, even for professional athletes, it was closed. So sometimes I had to train in the field, or just in the back of the fucking garden or something. It's been difficult, but you get it done, it's.
I just wanted to touch bases with that. Are you currently training with Conor now, Conor McGregor, or training somewhere else?
No, because Conor is with the team with John Kavanagh all day over in Dubai, and I'm here now because obviously he's getting ready for an MMA fight, and I'm getting ready for a bare knuckle. And the plan for me was to finish my fight and then go over, because my fight was originally on the 19th of June, but my opponent got injured, something with his shoulder, so they moved the fight to July, end of July. So I probably won't be able to go over now.
Because he's fighting July 11th, and that's going to be
10th,
T-Mobile Arena. That's UFC 264. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier 3. That's going to be a war. Give us a prediction, Artem.
Yeah, Conor is a very, very smart fighter. He's. I just feel the last fight he maybe took it a little bit lightly. Just thought I just show up and do what I do and destroy him. And not only that, he was already mentally and physically getting ready for a boxing fight. So he wasn't thinking leg kicks. He wasn't thinking, no MMA. He just, thought it was going to be the same as the first fight. And, we have to give credit to Dustin. He's done his homework. He's improved a lot since the first fight. And he did a good job. But I think now when Conor is switched on, he knows what's up. His full focus is on this fight. He's, studied him and looked at what the issues were in the second fight. And honestly, when Conor shows up like that, there's no stopping him. So I see him stopping Dustin early, maybe first, maybe second round. First, I want to say first. My prediction is first round, but could go into second.
First round strikes. I want to segue really quick. You were talking about Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. Thiago Alves is one of his trainers, and he's going to be fighting Uli Diaz in Fighting Championship 18.
Yeah,
that's going to be, I think it's the 175 or 185. I'm not sure exactly. I think it's 175. So it's going to be Uli Diaz versus Thiago Pitbull.
That is a great card. That is a great card. There's this fight. Then obviously we already spoke about Luis Palomino. That's huge fight as well. And what was another one? There was the third one. What's the third fight? Can you remember? There was the third big fight. Oh yes, of course. Jesus, Joey Beltran. You know the
Joey Beltran, Sam Shoemaker. Let me see here. I'm trying to. And I got a picture. I'm going to put it up for everybody. One second.
The Hillbilly Hammer. This is going to be good.
There's the picture there. You got Sam Shoemaker versus Joey Beltran, Hector Lombard versus Joe Riggs, Luis Palomino versus Tyler Goodjob, and then Thiago Alves versus Uli Monster, and that's BKFC.
That's a great card. That is a great card.
That is a great card.
I was supposed to fight a Riggs in Lethwei once, but opponents changed. I think it's going to be a good card, man. That's stacked. A lot of good stuff there.
Definitely great fights there.
Artem, the last thing I wanted to do, I got a little confused there, but here's the question. As a fighter and a father, you know me, I just had a new son. It's great. You have your new son. Is it Maximus?
Yeah, Artem Maximus.
Artem Maximus.
The king.
Tell me the mindset. The reason why I'm saying this, McGregor made a statement saying he's not going to bring his family with him this trip. It's not going to be no family because he wants to have his mindset, warrior mindset, kill or be killed. Tell me how you feel about that, having your family at home or vice ringside. You know, UFC, the last one. 50,
yeah, you know, to be honest, I was always of that opinion as well. And I know I brought my kid to some of the fights, but that's just for me as a father. I want to tell him, look, you were there. But really, my mentality is I don't bring women and children to war. I'm going to war, you know what I mean? So women and children, they stay at home, and I go there. You know what I mean? I do what I have to do. I bring home the meat. I bring home, you know, my killings, and then we feast, you know. But to me, I need that as well to get into a certain mindset. You know what I mean? When you see your own child, you know, I see my boy, I melt like butter. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh Jesus, come here to me, my little cutie, and that's it. You know what I mean? But you can't have that. You know what I mean? Especially when you're going in fighting bare knuckle, you have to have that mindset. That's it. I'm ready for war. Let's go. Who wants it, motherfuckers?
I relate to that, and that's a great. I can respect that. I like what you said. I don't bring women and children to war. That's great. Well said.
That is a great way to end this first episode of Bareknuckle Uncensored. Artem Lobov, we appreciate your time. You're a good friend. I respect you.
Thank you so
my
much.
My co-host, Lethwei, open weight champion, Artem.
Yeah.
Dave Leduc, thank you. This is our first episode. Next
it was the first episode, Artem. You popped the cherry from the Bareknuckle box.
It's not the first one.
Again, I'm gonna say it again. I wish you good luck for your fight, man. And you know,
thank you so much.
You're a trailblazer in the Bareknuckle boxing, Bareknuckle boxing community. Because honestly, if it wasn't for your fights, I would not have got interested into Bareknuckle boxing. You know, I was into Lethwei and all the things. So I can say that with all due respect, man. Props and keep killing it, man.
And you for me for Lethwei, you know what I mean? You opened up a whole new sport for me, an incredible sport. I can't believe I didn't fucking see it before.
Did you ever do you say I don't know, it's in Russian, I forgot. It said head, like in head, but it's how do you say fuck? My wife's gonna kill me. How do you say headbutt in Russian? Do you know? Like
we don't really have like a specific word for it. Just
like glava or have
Galava is head.
Glava можно, да, exactly. So did you ever land one in outside of the ring?
One time in a street fight. One time it was me actually and another guy that we were kind of like, you know, friends, but we were working together, and we like got into a big, huge argument, and we had a little bit of a fight, and then he kind of came up to me, like squared up to me like this, and I just went boom, straight in the nose.
Where did you get nose?
Straight in the nose, yeah. Straight in
Nice.
the nose.
Boom.
And no, it didn't. The fight kind of was broken up straight away. We didn't continue fighting, but it felt good, I must say. It felt good. When you're like very close to somebody and there's no space, it seemed like a very effective striking technique. You know, just boom.
And you save your hands, right? You save your hands on. You
you save your hands, and you get somebody on the nose. Their eyes start to water. They can't see anything. It's, you know what I mean. It's a game changer.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk some more street fights too. I just wanted to add that we're going to talk street fights on the show too, because street fights are bare knuckle.
Absolutely.
Do you want to give a shout out to some of your sponsors like Paramatch?
Absolutely, yeah. Paramatch have been a great sponsor for me. You know, they've become not just my sponsor; they're like a family to me now. Absolutely great people to work with. You know, I love them so much. I'm very, very thankful. They certainly have helped me on my journey. Bareknuckle, of course. I'm gonna give them my present, July 24th. You know what I mean? I'm gonna light up the internet with my fight. Yes. So, and of course, SBG. You know, always thank you to them. You know, this is my team, my family. I love them. I'm with them from the first day until my last.
That's awesome. Well,
Loyalty.
I appreciate
loyalty, you guys. It's the hardest thing to get in life, in relationships, fighting, and everything. Loyalty is the best. So,
loyalty.
I respect that.
Dave, you want to say anything before we go?
Now we're good to go. So
I appreciate you both being on the show. This is the first episode of Bareknuckle Uncensored. There's going to be another one tomorrow. We're going to have Robin Black, mixed martial artist Robin Black, and we're going to have a couple more guests from the bare knuckle scene in Russia. And
that's good. Robin Black, very knowledgeable guy. You know, a very good guy. You know, I really enjoy his stuff. Tell him I say hi. So yeah, it's going to be a good show.
Absolutely, and maybe one time you can come on and join us, and we bring someone else on the show.
Absolutely, let's do it. It will be my pleasure.
We'll catch up after your fight, Artem. We'll catch up after your fight.
100%.
And we'll talk some more. Wyoming, he's going to be bringing some Lethwei to Wyoming here in the United States.
Perfect.
Maybe you can come join us, hang out, or
100%. Man, I definitely want to. I mean, I already thinking about doing it myself, fighting, but definitely want to see it.
Well, if we organize it, I want to make sure that the matchup makes sense and it pays good. So I'll keep you posted off air.
Perfect.
Yeah, at least 100 or more, right, Artem?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for joining the show.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right, see you guys. Thank you. Bye bye.
Having Artem on the show, man, that's huge. You guys never met. It was like two guys meeting in a bar that they know they're both gladiators and talk about coliseums and fighting and his next fight. It was awesome seeing you and Artem, two of my good friends and some of the best fighters ever to do it, talk for the first time.
It's a lot of things that he said that resonate a lot with me about the street fighting, like in a bar. I like he said, you know, when shit hits the fan, you're not gonna, you know, hug him or weight cut or check for whatever. It's right there, right now, and I really like that. I like his war mentality. Yeah, good guy. Honestly, great. I never spoke to him before this, and great all-around guy. Honestly, I wish him really. I think he's attracting a lot of positivity because he's a positive guy. He deserves a lot of good stuff. Genuine guy. I like him.
He's all about educating people on bare knuckle, educating people on mixed martial arts, teaching people that you should grapple, wrestle, and clinch, and learn different body parts. I mean, you're the athlete. I'm not the athlete, but having Artem on the show with you was amazing.
What do you think about the guy, the fight in Ukraine? Like, I think he's gonna. I don't know who's gonna win, but I know it's gonna be a war.
I got Artem early KO. I think Artem rushes him. This guy doesn't know, has never fought into these rules. The clinch. Yeah. Artem's there to finish him in the first round, and that's what he said. First round KO prediction, and that's going to be in the Ukraine, July 24th on Fite TV.
I think the clinching part is going to be a massive difference. You know, he has strong hands and everything, and
Absolutely.
I think he's got. If he manages to grab the neck, the boxer is gonna have a hard time. I don't know what he's gonna learn with the clinch with the Muay Thai guys or whatever, but man, it's different when you have no gloves. It cuts. So but he seems really focused. So I think.
And he talked about the headbutting his friend in a street fight. He talked about Conor McGregor, where he's training, and he also talked about not bringing your family and children to the fights. What did he say about that, King? He says, we never bring our women and children to war.
It's good. Yeah, I actually have my wife. Me and we have a death pact, meaning that if one of us leaves, we're going with them, and I don't want to talk about this. That we're fucked up like this, but I always go everywhere with my wife. So that's
everywhere.
Yeah, like we never had.
Go to the grocery store. You go.
No, meaning that I never took the plane without her, you know, like, but I really respect, that's what I said. I respect what he says because it makes sense. Like, I really understand that, like, you don't bring your wife to war. Just my wife really gets it, and she, so we're together, but I really understand his mentality, and I cannot say I disagree with that at all. And
Artem touched on a lot of things. He talked about his fight. He talked about his previous fights. He talked about Bareknuckle FC 18, made his predictions for the 4 title fights. He talked about coming to Lethwei and fighting possibly under one of your cards in Wyoming.
I know there's a lot of Burmese guys.
That was a great interview. Great interview.
I think there's a lot, you know, like his weight, man. It would be such a big fight to see like a Burmese against him together. Like it would be massive to get like Solin U or a couple of Lethwei stars against him together. Like I would definitely, you know, if I can host it on my event, I'm going to host it in the USA. Flying the Burmese to US and flying him and having this, it would be massive. Massive. Because honestly, I would like him to meet a Burmese guy, you know, not like a foreign yet. There's some foreign fighters that are learning the culture, but, you know, there's nothing like fighting a Burmese guy that's been brought up since childhood with headbutts. He knows the game. His hands are used to that. I think a lot of people would pay a lot of money for this. We'll see what happens.
I think a lot of fight fans would enjoy it. You know, it's not just about making money, guys. We're trying to bring you some awesome content here on Bareknuckle Uncensored. This is our first episode. Please subscribe, share it, watch our episodes. If you don't like it, tell us in the comments. If you like it, tell us. If you think Dave's a pompous asshole, tell him. But you got to remember,
I already know
he's the fucking champ.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. So if ever you have like some nice clips, guys, send it to us. Our team is gonna give it to us, and we're gonna filter it and talk about whatever is the coolest. So Lethwei, street fighting, Valetudo, Bareknuckle fighting, and we're gonna continue to cover everything Lethwei, everything Bareknuckle fighting, everything that's happening in the Bareknuckle world. And thanks for being there, guys. Follow on all platforms. It's gonna be and we make sure we share the news. Yeah, we share the news, right?
Bareknuckle Uncensored everywhere. Instagram, Bareknuckle Uncensored. Facebook, Bareknuckle Uncensored. YouTube, Twitter. That's us, Bareknuckle Uncensored. Thank you for my co-host, Lethwei World Champion Openweight Monster, Dave Leduc from Turkey, and I'm Chris LeBeau.
MMA Uncensored.
MMA Uncensored.
Thanks, guys.
Soon, brother.
Take care, Chris.